ng Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Simula noon, ang Pilipinas at ang Myanmar ay nagkasundo para magtulungan sa iba't ibang mga larangan. Tulad na lang ng political operation, trade and investment, education, agriculture, forestry at tourism. At napag-usapan po ang mga nasabing areas of cooperation noong ikalawang pagpupulong ng Manila-Yangon Joint Commission for Operation o JCBC na ginanap sa Maynila noong June 14 hanggang 15 taong 2012. Bukod pa rito ay napagkasunduan ng dalawang bansa ang pagsasagawa ng Philippines-Myanmar Parliamentary Friendship Association na sumisentro sa kung paano pa mapapatatag ang relasyon ng dalawang bansa. Pinagtibay po ng Pilipinas at ng Myanmar ang 1998 Cultural Cooperation Agreement sa pamamagitan ng Executive Program on Cultural Exchange. Ito ay nagpapalawig sa pagkakaroon ng Joint Trade Commission at pagkakatatag ng formal contracts sa kanilang Chambers of Commerce. At inaasahan po natin ang pagdating ilang sandali lamang ng presidente ng Myanmar na si Pangulong Thein Sein. Siya po ay manggagaling sa Rizal Park sa Maynila dahil po sa isang wreath-laying ceremony. Sumalubong po sa kanya sa wreath-laying ceremony ang Mayor ng Maynila kasama si Vice President Jejo Marbinay at maging si Agriculture Secretary Proceso Alcala. Isa sa malaking inaasahan natin na pag-uusapan ang aspeto ng agrikultura. Matatandaan po na ang Pilipinas at ang ay nagkakaroon ng information exchange sa pagitan ng dalawang bansa sa aspeto po ng pagtatanim ng palay. Isa po ang palay sa mga major exports ng bansang Myanmar at isa po rin ang Pilipinas sa mga umaangkat ng kanilang agricultural product. Bibigyan po ng arrival honors dito sa Palasyo ng Malacanang ang bumibisitang presidente ng Myanmar na si President Thein Sein. Ito nga po ang kauna-unahang pagbisita ng pinuno ng Myanmar dito sa ating bansa. Ang Myanmar ay isa sa mga partners ng Pilipinas pagdating sa diplomatic relations dahil kapwa po miyembro ng ASEAN o Association of Southeast Asian Nations ang ating bansa at ang bansang Myanmar. At isa rin sa mga napag-usapan dun sa World Economic Forum on East Asia noong nakaraang taon kung saan dumalo po ang Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino III ay aspeto rin ng news and information exchange. Kaya isa rin po sa palalakasin ng dalawang bansa sa pagbisita ngayon ng Pangulo ng Myanmar ay yung pagpapalitan po ng impormasyon pagdating sa journalism at pagbibigay balita. At ang Myanmar po ay lugar na ng 500 nating mga OFW. Karamihan nga po sa kanila ay mga professionals at itinuturing na malaki ang kontribusyon sa pag-unlad ng ekonomiya ng nasabing bansa. Pumasok na po dito sa Palasyo ng Malacanang ang convoy ng presidente ng Myanmar, ng ating Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino III at inaasahan nga po na ilang sandali na lamang ay darating na ang Pangulong Thein Sein ng Myanmar dito sa Palasyo. Sasalubungin po ng Pangulo ang bumibisitang presidente ng Myanmar kasama ang kanyang First Lady na unang beses pong dumalo dito sa ating bansa para sa isang state visit. Kahapon po ay dumating ang Pangulo ng Myanmar at siya po ay sinalubong ni Vice President Jejo Marbinay at ng ating Secretary Proceso Alcala. Inaasahan din po na mapag-uusapan sa magiging bilateral meeting ng dalawang pinuno ng bansa ang aspeto ng ekonomiya at trade and investment. Meron pong 3 malalaking korporasyon ang ating bansa na kasalukuyang nagnenegosyo sa bansang Myanmar at nga po sa ating research, ang Philex Mining na isa sa mga pinakamalaking kumpanya ng pagmimina sa Pilipinas ay nagbabalak din po na pasukin ang aspeto ng mining sa bansang Myanmar. At inaasahan din nga po ang pagdalo rin o pag-iimbita ng Pangulo naman ng mga negosyante sa Myanmar para mag-invest dito sa ating bansa. Ang diplomatikong relasyon po ng Pilipinas at Myanmar ay mahaba at ito po ay nag-umpisa noong 1956 at patuloy pa rin po itong tumitibay sa pamamagitan nga ng pagbibigay o exchange of information. Kaya nga po inaasahan ang pagbisita ng Myanmar President Thein Sein sa Rice Research Institute sa Los Baños, Laguna. Gaya nga po ng aking nabanggit kanina, isa po ang bigas o rice sa mga major agriculture products ng bansang Myanmar. At kanina nga po ay dumaan, matapos ang wreath-laying ceremony sa Rizal Park sa Maynila, ay dumaan pa ng Intramuros at nag-ikot ang Pangulong Myanmar President Thein Sein doon at inaasahan po na tutungo na siya. Matapos yun ay tutungo na siya dito sa palasyo ng Malacanang. Inaantabayanan na po ng Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino III ang kanyang pagdating. Upon his arrival ay bibigyan po siya ng arrival honors. Matapos po ito ay aakyat po sila, papasok po sila sa palasyo para mag-sign ng guest book ang bumibisitang leader ng Myanmar. Matapos po ng guest book signing ay magkakaroon na nga po ng courtesy call at matapos ito ay isang bilateral meeting kasama po ang delegasyon ng Myanmar at ang ilang mga miyembro ng gabinete ng Pangulong Aquino. At nakikita po natin tila ito na po ang pagpasok ng convoy ng bumibisitang leader ng bansang Myanmar dito po sa Pilipinas. Kauna-unahang pagbisita niya po sa ating bansa. At nanggaling po ang Presidente Thein Sein ng Myanmar sa Rizal Park para sa tradisyonal na wreath-laying ceremony na ginagawa po ng bawat bumibisitang leader ng bansa. Kasama rin po sa magiging meeting ang ilan sa mga miyembro rin ng gabinete ng Myanmar President Thein Sein. Matapos ang bilateral meeting ay magkakaroon din po ng isang state luncheon para sa bumibisitang leader. Panoorin po natin.
Tanghal! Ta! Tinono, tanghal. Ta! Andadala. Kalis. Baba! Ta! Your Excellency, the honor guard is now ready for inspection. Tanghal! Ta! Pinono, tanghal. Ta! Baba, ta. Andadala. Kalis. Baba! Ta! Your Excellency, the ceremony is over.
Inyo pong natutunghayan ang special coverage ng Telebisyon ng Bayan sa state visit ng leader ng Myanmar, Presidenteng Thein Sein. Ito po ang live coverage ng People's Television mula sa Palasyo ng Malacanang. Atin po natunghayan ang welcome ceremony na ibinigay ng Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino III para sa bumibisitang leader. Nakikita po natin ang ilan sa mga miyembro ng gabinete ng Pangulo na sumalubong din kay Myanmar President Sein, si Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario, Finance Secretary Cesar Purisima, Cabinet Secretary Jose Rene Almendras, PCOO Secretary Sonny Coloma at marami pa pong iba. Kasama ang bumibisita ng Myanmar President, ang kanyang First Lady at ilan sa mga miyembro ng kanyang official delegation. Matapos po itong welcoming ceremony ay papasok na sa loob ng Palasyo ng Malacanang ang Presidente ng Myanmar para sa signing ng guest book. Ang pagsasign po ng guest book ay isang tradisyon rin na ginagawa ng bawat bumibisitang leader dito po sa ating bansa. Matapos ang pagsasign ng guest book ay magaganap naman ng courtesy call ni Presidente Sein kay Pangulong Aquino naman ng isang expanded bilateral meeting. Makakasama sa bilateral meeting sina Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario, Executive Secretary Paquito Ochoa, Finance Secretary Cesar Purisima, Agriculture Secretary Proceso Alcala, Energy Secretary Jericho Petilla, Cabinet Secretary Jose Rene Almendras at Presidential Management Staff Secretary Julia Abad. Kasama rin sa magiging expanded bilateral meeting si PCOO Secretary Sani Coloma at Under Secretary Ponciano Manalo ng Department of Trade and Industry. Ilan sa mga inaasahang agreements na pipirmahan ng dalawang leader ng bansa ay ang Memorandum of Understanding on Information Cooperation, MOA in the field of renewable energy, Memorandum of Agreement sa Commerce and Industry, and agreement naman sa visa exemption for holders of ordinary passports. At na po ng Palasyo ng Malacanang ang presidente ng Myanmar, Thein Sein, para isign o para pirmahan ang guest book. Matapos ito ay tutungo sila sa music room sa palasyo pa rin para naman sa courtesy call. Magtatagal po ng 3 araw ang state visit ni President Sein sa ating bansa. Siya po ay dumating dito sa Maynila kahapon, kung saan sinalubong siya ni Vice President Jejo Marbinay at ni Agriculture Secretary Proceso Alcala. Kanina ay bumisita si President Sein sa monumento ng ating pambansang bayani, Dr. Jose Rizal, para sa isang wreath-laying ceremony kung saan sinalubong din siya ng mayor ng Maynila at ng Vice Presidente. Kasama rin po sa wreath-laying ang Agriculture Secretary Proceso Alcala. Matapos po ang courtesy call na ito sa loob ng music room sa palasyo, ay magkakaroon na nga po ng expanded bilateral meeting sa pagitan ng dalawang leader at gaya nga po ng aking nabanggit ng iba't ibang aspeto ng ugnayan ng dalawang bansa at inaasahang mapipirmahan ng ilan sa mga memoranda, kabilang na ang patungkol sa information exchange, agriculture, renewable sources of energy, at trade and commerce. Isa po sa mga mahalagang partner din ng Pilipinas ang Myanmar dahil ito rin pong bansang ito ay kasapi rin katulad ng ating bansa sa Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Ito po ang pangalawang beses na magkakaroon ng isang bilateral meeting ang dalawang pinuno ng bansa, kung saan noong isang taon po ay sa World Economic Forum on East Asia ay nagkaroon po ng pagpupulong ang dalawang leader. Samantala, gaya nga po ng aking nabanggit, ay nagtungo sa Rizal Park sa Maynila ang leader ng Myanmar para magbigay galang sa ating pambansang bayani, Dr. Jose Rizal. Ito po mapapanood po natin ilang sandali lamang yung video po na ating nakunan kanina sa kanyang pagbisita sa Rizal Park. Matapos po ito ay nag-ikot-ikot pa panandalian ang leader ng Myanmar sa Intramuros. Okay, naantabayanan po natin ang video ng wreath-laying. Ito po, naganap itong ang wreath-laying ceremony na ito bago nagtungo dito sa palasyo si President Sein ng Myanmar. Siya po ay sinalubong ni Secretary Proceso Alcala at inaasahan nga po na ito po ang ikalawang araw ng state visit ng Pangulo ng Myanmar dito sa ating bansa. Inaasahan na matapos ito ay ang kanyang pagtungo dito sa palasyo para magbigay ng kortesiya kaya Pangulong Aquino ay tutungo naman si President Sein sa Bantayan Island sa Cebu. Isa rin po sa mahalagang kontribusyon ng Myanmar sa ating bansa ay ang pagbibigay tulong ng bansang Myanmar sa relief operations ng ating bansa sa mga biktima ng Bagyong Yolanda, kung saan nagbigay po ng 7 tons ng relief goods ang Myanmar. Patungkol pa rin sa pagbisita ng President Sen sa IRI o International Rice Research Institute sa Los Baños ay magkakaroon po ng maikling programa doon kung saan magkakaroon siya o bibigyan siya ng ng research na isinasagawa ng IRI at magkakaroon din ng presentation patungkol sa IRI-Myanmar collaboration. Matapos ang presentasyon ay magkakaroon ng isang open discussion at bibisitahin din ni President Sen yung Rice World Museum and Learning Center at magkakaroon din siya ng pagbisita sa International Rice Gene Bank. Malaki po ang kontribusyon ng IRI ng ating bansa sa rice research kung saan ginagamit po ito ngayon ng bansang Myanmar. Isa po ang agrikultura sa mahalagang aspeto ng ekonomiya ng bansang Myanmar at ang Pilipinas din naman po ay nag-i-import ng rice mula sa nasabing bansa. So yan po ang napapanood po natin, ang recorded earlier, ang naging pagbisita ni President Sen sa Rizal Monument, pagbibigay galang na rin po at bahagi ng kanyang kauna-unahang state visit dito sa ating bansa. Sa kasalukuyan po ay magkakaroon ng bilateral meeting ang Pangulong Aquino kasama po si President Sen at matapos po balik po kami para ibigay sa inyo ang mga detalye ng kanilang naging pag-uusap. So magbabalik po kami matapos ang bilateral meeting ng Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino III at ng bumibisitang leader ng Myanmar na si President Thein Sein. Magandang umaga po. Ang Pangulo ng Myanmar nagkaroon po ng isang arrival honors para sa kanya at katatapos lamang po ng courtesy call ng Pangulo ng Myanmar kaya Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino III na susundan naman ng isang expanded bilateral meeting na tinatayang tatagal ng 1 oras. Kasama sa mga pipirmahan ay ilan sa mga agreement patungkol sa information cooperation, MOA tungkol sa field ng renewable energy, Memorandum of Agreement in Commerce and Industry, Agreement on Visa Exemption for Holders of Ordinary Passports. At yan po ang eksena sa loob ng Palasyo ng Malacanang kung saan kasalukuyan nga pong magkakaroon ng isang expanded bilateral meeting ang leader ng dalawang bansa. Kasama po dito sa bilateral meeting na ito ang delegasyon ng Myanmar, ang Minister ng kanilang Foreign Affairs na si Yu Wuna Maung Luin, ang Minister for President Office na si So Maung at kalalabas lang po mula sa music room ng Palasyo ang dalawang leader, Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino III and Myanmar President Thein Sein matapos ang courtesy call ng bumibisitang leader. Ito po ang kauna-unahang pagkakataon na nagkaroon ng state visit ang Myanmar sa ating bansa. At gaya nga po ng aking nasabi, isa sa mga mahalagang tatalakayin ang information exchange patungkol din sa agrikultura kasama sa Philippine side sa expanded bilateral meeting si Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario, Executive Secretary Paquito Ochoa, Finance Secretary Cesar Purisima, Agriculture Secretary
Again, on
Proceso
behalf of the
Alcala,
Filipino people and our government, may we welcome His
DSWD
Excellency
Secretary Dinky
Thein
Soliman,
and his
DTI Secretary Gregory Domingo, Energy Secretary Jericho Petilla, and Cabinet Secretary Jose Rene Almendras, PMS Secretary Julia Abad, at PCOO Secretary Sani Coloma.
And I apologize for talking too much. Excellency.
Inyo pong napapanood
May we
ang
proceed to
live video
the
na ipinapadala po mula sa loob ng palasyo ng Malacanang. Inaasahan po magtatagal ng isang
we look
oras
forward to the
ang
third
expanded
meeting of the
bilateral
Philippines,
agreement.
Myanmar Joint Commission
Sa
on
pagbisitang
Bilateral
ito
Cooperation
ng
in
Pangulo ng Myanmar,
to build
inaasahang
momentum in
strengthen pa o titibay pa ang diplomatic ties sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at ng bansa. Matapos ang expanded bilateral meeting ay magbibigay ng kanilang joint press statement ang Pangulong Sen at ang Pangulong Aquino at matapos ang pagbibigay ng kanilang mga statement before the press ay magkakaroon po ng isang state luncheon para sa bumibisitang leader ng Myanmar at ng kanyang delegasyon. So habang nagkakaroon po ng pag-uusap ang dalawang side, ang Philippine side and Myanmar side, ay ibabalik po muna namin kayo sa regular programming at magbabalik po kami para ibigay sa inyo ang magiging resulta ng expanded bilateral meeting ng dalawang leader ng bansa. Magbabalik po kami. ng dalawang leader at maging ng iba't ibang mga miyembro ng kanilang delegasyon. Magbibigay rin ng joint press statement si President Aquino at Sen kung saan susundan ng isang luncheon para sa bumibisitang leader. Panoorin po natin ang programa.
The Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, Wuna Mong Luin. The MOA grants a no-visa entry to Filipino nationals holding ordinary passports for stays in Myanmar not exceeding 14 days. Myanmar nationals may already enter the Philippines without a visa for up to 30 days under Executive Order 408. The next agreement is the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Republic of the Philippines through the Department of Agriculture and the Government of the Republic of Myanmar through the Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation on food security and agricultural cooperation, to be signed between the Honorable Secretary of Agriculture, Proceso J. Alcala, and the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation, U Mint Leng. The MOU establishes a general framework for bilateral cooperation in the field of food security and agriculture. It provides for the promotion of investments through joint venture arrangements. The third agreement is the Memorandum of Agreement between the Government of the Republic of the Philippines and the Government of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar in the field of renewable energy, to be signed by the Honorable Secretary of Energy, Carlos Jericho Petilla, and the Honorable Minister for Energy, Zay Yaong. The MOA provides for the exchange of technical expertise, joint research and development activities in renewable energy resources, information exchange and networking, and other related activities in the successful adoption of renewable energy technologies and their commercialization. The fourth agreement is the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Philippines and the Government of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar on information cooperation in the field of news exchange, radio and television broadcasting, film industries, public relations, printing and publishing, to be signed on behalf of their respective governments by the Honorable Secretary of Presidential Communications Operations Office, Herminio B. Coloma Jr., and Honorable Deputy Minister for Information, Ye Tut. The MOU aims to strengthen information cooperation between the two countries. It provides for exchange of visits of journalists, cooperation between private radio and television networks, and sharing of best practices on media's role in national development and peace process. The next agreement is the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Republic of the Philippines and the Government of the Republic of Myanmar for cooperation in trade and investments. Will be signed between the Honorable Undersecretary of Trade and Investment Promotions, Department of Trade and Industry, Ponciano C. Manalo, Jr., and the Honorable Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, Ye Mint Ong. The MOU calls for closer cooperation in the facilitation of investments between the Philippines and Myanmar through the dissemination of investment information and consultation with the business community, among others. The sixth agreement is the Memorandum of Agreement between the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Republic of the Union of Federation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, to be signed by the President of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Miguel B. Varela, and the President of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar Federation of Chambers of Commerce, Win Ong. The MOA calls for the exchange of information and the establishment of business contacts between the chambers of commerce of both countries through the organization of events such as conferences, seminars, study tours, exchange of trade groups, and participation in trade fairs. Lastly, we will also witness the exchange of notes between the Honorable Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Albert F. Del Rosario, and the Honorable Minister for Social Welfare, Relief and Resettlement, Dr. Mye Ong Kin, over of the Myanmar donation to the Philippines. The Republic of the Union of Myanmar is donating $50,000 for the victims of the earthquake in Central Visayas and $100,000 for the victims of Typhoon Yolanda. The Philippines deeply appreciates Myanmar's gesture of solidarity in these difficult times.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, and His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, will now deliver their respective statements.
Your Excellency, President Thein Sein of Myanmar, members of the Myanmar delegation, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good noon. On behalf of the Filipino people, allow me to welcome Your Excellency and the Myanmar delegation to the Philippines. We are delighted to have this opportunity to return the warm hospitality that we received last June when His Excellency President Thein Sein graciously hosted us during my official visit to Myanmar for the World Economic Forum on East Asia. This morning, the President and I engaged in fruitful discussions to advance cooperation between our countries towards strengthening the meaningful relationship our nations share. Myanmar was one of the countries that reached out to us in the wake of Typhoon Yolanda. And I thank the President for his message of sympathy and solidarity for our countrymen who are victims of this calamity. In particular, I express our deepest gratitude for the Myanmar government's donation of $100,000 in humanitarian aid and for the 7 tons of relief goods flown in by the Myanmar Defense Services. Tomorrow, His Excellency the President and his delegation will fly to Cebu to show support for our relief efforts. He will bring with him a team of doctors and 2 tons of relief goods. Again, allow me to reiterate how grateful we are for the support that Myanmar has given to the Philippines. We also discussed the historic developments in Myanmar under President Thein Sein's leadership, particularly the democratic and economic reforms that he has instituted. These reforms include the holding of free elections, the release of political prisoners, dialogue with the opposition, the expansion of political rights, and the promulgation of new economic laws such as the new foreign investment law. These herald a new chapter in Myanmar's history. The Philippines supports these initiatives and has offered assistance on capacity building through technical cooperation. We have also offered technical assistance to the Myanmar National Human Rights Commission, as well as training courses to relevant agencies on entrepreneurship, culture, ecotourism, culinary arts, agriculture, fisheries, food processing and preservation, and gender issues. Given that peace is one of our country's mutual concerns, President Thein Sein and I shared our experiences on the peace processes within our individual nations. To further our defense cooperation, I have appointed the resident defense attaché to Myanmar. Since bilateral trade between the Philippines and Myanmar has increased, we explored opportunities to maximize the economic potential of our countries. In pursuing a stronger partnership in this area, we seek not only the benefit to our economies, but more importantly, the benefit to our peoples. Earlier, we signed the Memorandum of Understanding on Trade and Investment and agreed to continue discussions on establishing a joint trade commission and concluding a double taxation agreement. We also witnessed the signing of a Memorandum of Agreement between the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and the Union of Myanmar Federation of Chambers of Commerce, which will establish a bilateral business forum. By facilitating linkages with businessmen from both our countries, this forum will serve as a mechanism to match Philippine businesses with the business opportunities in Myanmar and vice versa. In agriculture, we signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Agricultural Cooperation and discussed collaboration in rice research and irrigation, the development of pineapple and banana plantations, as well as technical cooperation in forestry and forestry industries development. Agriculture is of particular interest to His Excellency, the President, and he will also visit the International Rice Research Institute to acquaint himself with their latest developments in rice research. We underscored the importance of developing renewable energy resources, particularly in the areas of renewable energy and hydropower, and signed a Memorandum of Agreement on Cooperation in Renewable Energy. To promote our trade and tourism linkages, we have agreed to update our 1979 air service. We have also signed a Memorandum of Agreement on visa exemption, granting Filipinos who are holders of ordinary passports visa-free entry to Myanmar for tourism and business purposes. We had the chance to pay a short visit to their country earlier this June, and we are pleased that more Filipinos will have greater opportunities to see the beauty of Myanmar. This will also facilitate the people-to-people exchanges that are vital to our country's relationships. On this note, to further strengthen socio-cultural cooperation and the aforementioned people-to-people exchanges, we also concluded a Memorandum of Understanding on Information Cooperation. This provides for the exchange of visits of journalists from the Philippines and Myanmar for cooperation between private radio and television networks in our countries, and for the sharing of best practices on media's roles in national development. We also discussed the necessity of further cooperation to combat illicit trafficking and abuse of drugs as part of our joint efforts to address transnational crime. On the regional front, we express confidence and support for Myanmar's chairmanship of ASEAN next year. As chair, Myanmar will have the crucial task of steering ASEAN towards the goal of an ASEAN economic community by 2015. The theme that Myanmar has chosen as chair of ASEAN in 2014, moving forward in unity to a peaceful and prosperous community, fittingly captures the aspirations of all 10 member states of ASEAN. I also express support for Myanmar's hosting of the 27th Southeast Asian Games this December. Our meeting this morning, in fact, President Thein Sein's visit to the Philippines is a testimony to our desire to learn more from each other and advance cooperation in various fields. We look forward to an even stronger relationship with Myanmar as we prepare for the commemoration of the 60th anniversary of the establishment of our diplomatic relations in 2016. We wish His Excellency the President and the rest of the Myanmar delegation an enjoyable stay in the Philippines. Thank you once again for the solidarity you have shown the Filipino people, a solidarity that is even more important in this time of recovery. This visit is truly a symbol of our shared commitment to continue as partners for the progress, peace, and well-being of our peoples, our countries, and of ASEAN. Thank you.
သတင်းသမားများအားလုံးကိုမင်္ဂလာပါလို့ကျွန်တော်အနေနဲ့ဥစွာနှုတ်ခွန်းဆက်သပါတယ်။အဲ့တော့သမရကြီးကျွန်တော်မစ္စတာအကွင်တို့ရဲ့ဖိတ်ကြားချက်အရကျွန်တော်နဲ့တူကျွန်တော်ရဲ့အဖွဲ့ဟာအခုလိုကျွန်တော်ဖိလစ်ပိုင်နိုင်ငံကိုအလည်ပတ်ခရီးဖြစ်နေရောက်ရှိလာခဲ့ခြင်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်။
First of all, I would like to express Minglaba to all the media personnel present here today. I have come to the Republic of the Philippines on a state visit at the invitation of the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Benigno Aquino.
အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်ရဲ့ပထမဆုံးဒီနိုင်ငံကိုရောက်ဖို့တဲ့ခရီးစဉ်လည်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်။အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့နှစ်နိုင်ငံအာဆီယံမိသားစုဝင်နိုင်ငံများဖြစ်ကြပြီးတော့တာနမန်ထူထောင်ခဲ့တာကျွန်တော်တို့58နှစ်ရှိခဲ့ပြီကျွန်တော်တို့ဖြစ်ပါတယ်။အဲ့တော့နှစ်နိုင်ငံကြားမှာခုနလိုပြဿနာကြီးငယ်မရှိခဲ့ပါဘူး။ချစ်ကြည်ရင်းနှီးတဲ့နိုင်ငံများပဲကျွန်တော်ဖြစ်ကြပါတယ်။
This is my very first visit to the Republic of the Philippines. Myanmar and Philippines are members of ASEAN, and the diplomatic relations between our two countries was established 57 years ago. We are very pleased that there have never been any issues between Myanmar and the Philippines.
အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အခုသတင်းစာရှင်းလင်းပွဲမလုပ်မိပါမယ်သမ္မတကြီးကျွန်တော်တို့အကီနိုနဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့နှစ်ဦးကကဏ္ဍပေါင်းစုံတော်တော်များများကျွန်တော်ညှိနှိုင်းဆွေးနွေးမှုတွေပြုလုပ်ခဲ့ပါတယ်အဓိကအဖြစ်တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့နှစ်နိုင်ငံချစ်ကြည်ရင်းနှီးမှုပုံမူပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ခိုင်မြဲစေဖို့ကိစ္စတွေနောက်တော့နှစ်နိုင်ငံကျွန်တော်တို့အကျိုးစီးပွားပူးပေါင်းဆောင်ရွက်ရေးကိစ္စတွေနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့တော်တော်များများရင်းနှီးပွင့်လင်းစွာဆွေးနွေးခဲ့ကြပါတယ်
Shortly before the briefing, we have had a friendly and cordial discussions on matters relating to further strengthening of the long-standing and cordial bilateral relations and deepening mutually beneficial cooperations between Myanmar and the Philippines.
အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံရဲ့နိုင်ငံရေးစီးပွားရေးပြည်ပပြောင်းလဲမှုတွေကိုအတိအမှတ်ပြုထောက်ခံအားပေးကြောင်းထုတ်ဖော်ပြောကြားခဲ့တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်လည်းဖိလစ်ပိုင်နိုင်ငံကျွန်တော်တို့အစိုးရနဲ့ပြည်သူများကိုကျေးဇူးတင်ရှိကြောင်းပြောကြားလိုပါတယ်
During my meeting with the President Aquino, he reiterated his government's recognition and support of the ongoing political and economic reforms undertaken by my government, which we are very grateful to the government and the people of the Philippines.
အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာစီးပွားရေးရင်းနှီးမြှုပ်နှံမှုအခွင့်အလမ်းကောင်းတွေများစွာကျွန်တော်တို့ရှိပါတယ်။ဒါကြောင့်ဖိလစ်ပိုင်ကစီးပွားရေးလုပ်ငန်းရှင်များလာရောက်ရင်းနှီးမြှုပ်နှံကြဖို့သမ္မတကြီးကိုလည်းကျွန်တော်အနေနဲ့တိုက်တွန်းခဲ့ကြောင်းပြောကြားလိုပါတယ်
Myanmar offers ample investment opportunities. As such, I have proposed President Aquino to urge Filipino investors and businessmen to come and invest in Myanmar.
အဲ့တော့အာဆီယံနိုင်ငံတွေထဲမှာကျွန်တော်တို့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံဟာဖွံ့ဖြိုးမှုအဖက်ဖက်ကနေပြီးတော့နောက်ကျနေတဲ့နိုင်ငံကျွန်တော်တို့ဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဓိကအကြောင်းရင်းကလည်းကျွန်တော်တို့နှစ်ပေါင်း20ကျော်လောက်စီးပွားရေးပိတ်ဆို့မှုခံထားခဲ့ရတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒါမှမဟုတ်ဒီစီးပွားရေးပညာရေးကျန်းမာရေးလူစွမ်းမြင့်တင်ရေးကိစ္စတွေမှာကျွန်တော်တို့နဲ့အတူပါဝင်ပူးပေါင်းဆောင်ရွက်ပေးဖို့သမ္မတကြီးကိုလည်းကျွန်တော်အနေနဲ့မေတ္တာရပ်ခံခဲ့ပါတယ်
During our discussion, I also requested President Aquino to assist us in areas of health, education, and economy and human resource development. As you all know, we have lagged behind in terms of development compared to other ASEAN member states, as Myanmar was imposed against economic sanctions for nearly 2 decades.
အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့နိုင်ငံပူးပေါင်းဆောင်ရွက်မယ်ဒီ MOU 6ခုကိုလည်းအားလုံးရဲ့ရှေ့မှာကျွန်တော်တို့အခုလက်မှတ်ရေးထိုးခဲ့ကြပြီဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ဒီလုပ်ငန်းတွေကိုကျွန်တော်တို့လက်တွေ့အကောင့်ထဲပေါ်ဖို့အတွက်လည်းကျွန်တော်တို့အပိုင်းကနေကြိုးပမ်းပြီးတော့ဆောင်ရွက်သွားမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
I'm very pleased that during my visit to the Philippines, we were able to sign the 6 memorandums of understanding between our two countries. And on our part, Myanmar will do everything for the successful implementations of the MOUs.
အဲ့တော့ဖိလစ်ပိုင်နိုင်ငံကကျွန်တော်တို့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံလိုပါပဲမကြာခဏကျွန်တော်တို့သဘောဘေးဒဏ်ကြီးခံခဲ့ရတဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့နိုင်ငံဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့မကြာခင်ကကျွန်တော်တို့မြင်းကလေးတန်းခံခဲ့ရတဲ့ဖိလစ်ပိုင်ကျွန်တော်တို့ပြည်သူတွေနဲ့မကြာခင်မှာပဲပြင်းထန်တဲ့မှုန်တိုင်းတန်ခံရတဲ့ဖိလစ်ပိုင်ပြည်သူတွေအတွက်မြန်မာပြည်သူများကနေပြီးတော့များစွာစိတ်မကောင်းဖြစ်မိမှာကြောင်းပြောကြားလိုပါတယ်
I would also like to take this opportunity to express on behalf of the people of Myanmar our profound condolences to the victims of earthquake and recent victims of Super Typhoon Yolanda.
အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကိုယ်တိုင်2008ခုနှစ်ကပြင်းထန်တဲ့နာဂစ်မုန်တိုင်းတန်ကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ခံခဲ့ရပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ပြင်းထန်တဲ့ဒီနာဂစ်မုန်တိုင်းတန်ကိုခံခဲ့ရတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ယခုကျွန်တော်တို့ခန်းစားနေရတဲ့ဖိလစ်ပိုင်ပြည်သူတွေအတွက်များစွာကျွန်တော်တို့ထောက်ထားစာနာမိပါတယ်ဒါကြောင့်ကျွန်တော်နဲ့အတူဝန်ထမ်းလူကျွန်တော်တို့ငွေကြေးပစ္စည်းနဲ့ဒီစေဝါအကူအညီတွေကိုကျွန်တော်ယူဆောင်လာခဲ့ပါတယ်
Like your country, Myanmar has also suffered a great deal when a severe cyclone struck our country in 2008. Therefore, we fully sympathize with the victims of the super typhoon and can understand the suffering and difficulties they are going through at this difficult time. As such, I have brought along relief goods and medicines for the victims of typhoon.
အဲ့တော့မနေ့ကမှကျွန်တော်ကိုယ်တိုင်ပဲမုန်တိုင်းတန်တဲ့ဒီဒေသကိုသွားရောက်ပြီးတော့အဲ့ဒီမှာရှိတဲ့ပြည်သူတွေကိုအားပေးရင်းနဲ့လိုအပ်တဲ့အကူအညီတွေလည်းကျွန်တော်တို့
To show solidarity and support to the peoples of the Philippines, I will be touring the typhoon-affected area.
တော့ကျွန်တော်လည်းအတူချစ်ကြည်ကိုယ်စားလှယ်အဖွဲ့ကိုဒီအဝေးကျေပြွန်စွာကျူစုအခမ်းရတဲ့အတွက်ဖိလစ်ပိုင်သမ္မတကြီးနဲ့တော့ဖိလစ်ပိုင်ကျွန်တော်တို့အစိုးရနဲ့ပြည်သူတွေကိုအထူးပဲကျေးဇူးတင်ကြောင်းကျွန်တော်အနေနဲ့ပြောကြားရပါတယ်အားလုံးကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်
Finally, I wish to thank Your Excellency, the government, and the people of Philippines for the warm welcome and gracious hospitality accorded to us during our stay in the Philippines. I thank you all.
Okay.
Yan po ang naging joint press statement ng Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino III at Pangulong Thein Sein ng Myanmar. Nagpasalamat si Pangulong Sein sa naging mainit na pagtanggap sa kanya ng ating pamahalaan sa kanyang kauna-unahang state visit dito sa ating bansa. Nakiramay din ang Pangulong Sein sa mga naging biktima ng Bagyong Yolanda at bilang show of solidarity anya, sitahin nga niya ang isa sa mga pinaka naging apektado ng Bagyong Yolanda, ang Bantayan Island sa Cebu. Hinikayat ni President Sein ng Myanmar ang Filipino businessman na mamuhunan at magnegosyo sa kanyang bansa at nagpasalamat si Pangulong Sein sa suporta ng pamahalaan ng Pilipinas sa kanyang ipinatutupad na democratic and economic reforms. Bago yan ay nagbigay rin ng kanyang statement ang Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino III. Ayon sa kanya, naging matagumpay ang pagpupulong ng dalawang leader at nagpasalamat siya sa pagtulong ng Myanmar sa mga biktima ng Bagyong Yolanda kung saan nagbigay nga ito ng $100,000 at 7 tons ng relief goods para sa mga biktima ni Yolanda. Pinuri ng Pangulong Aquino si Pangulong Sein sa pagpapanatili ng demokratikong sistema sa Myanmar at siniguro ang suporta ng Pilipinas tungo dito. Ang pagbisita umano ni Pangulong Sein ay lalo pang magpapatibay sa ugnayan sa pagitan ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas at Myanmar sa larangan ng trade at agrikultura, turismo, information exchange, depensa at sa edukasyon. At nagpasuporta ang Pangulo Aquino sa Myanmar sa pag-host nito ng ASEAN 2014 sa susunod na taon at ng SEA Games. At yan muna ang pinakahuling ulat mula dito sa Palasyo ng Malacanang patungkol pa rin sa state visit ng Pangulo ng Myanmar. Magbabalik po kami.